No, diamo la parola.
Let me answer. The first, one of the things that's been significant about our journey to the moon is that when we get there, and Apollo 8 is the first mission that flies the giant Saturn V rocket to go to the moon, the first people, and it's worth remembering that only 24 humans have ever seen the Earth as a globe with their own eyes, have ever been far enough away to see the Earth as a circle. 24 people. Apollo 8, the first guys to do that, and when they first orbit the moon, they spend 3 orbits looking at the moon and are fascinated by it, and then they look up, and what they see coming over the horizon is the only piece of colour in their universe, it's the Earth. And they take a photo, it's called Earthrise, it's the most published photograph in human history. And those men, and they made that journey at Christmas time in 1967, read back to Earth, and they remain the most heard human voices ever. They read back the opening passages of Genesis. There was a big tradition of understanding our own place in the universe. The more we've journeyed into space and the more we do it now, and Buzz is a big part of our current mission into space, the further we look out in space, the more we understand ourselves. With Hubble, the Space Telescope, we're actually about understanding where we fit into the world. The more we journey, the more it is to look home. And it's a natural thing for us to look back and try and understand it. And Buzz is, I mean, you discussed giving communion on the moon when you landed. You discussed it with Deke Slayton, didn't you?
Yeah, before going, and of course, every human being has a certain amount of ego, and we were part of a collection of a lot of very high egos and overachievers. We wouldn't have gotten to where we did if we were not somewhat competitive. And when you're competitive, you try your best. But you kind of have a temptation occasionally to belittle the achievements of other people. Why? Because we're human, and we want to try and get the very most out of whatever the opportunity is. And I felt that you know, I'd like to say, hey, look, I took communion on the moon. But how many people? What percentage of the population really understand what that really means? To me, it was a gesture of among hundreds or thousands that I could have picked from with flowery words and whatever. But it certainly had an impact on a certain number of people, and I was among that family that was allowed to do that. Some people aren't allowed to perform that sort of a ceremony on themselves, and I for being overstepping if I offended anyone. But my life has changed tremendously. I was half of my age when I was on the moon, as I am right now. I'm a little older than half, than twice the age. And I've gone through some significant changes that have caused me to modify my outlook in quite a bit. And I don't really know that it's pertinent for somebody to ask a question, would you do it again today? The answer is probably not. I'm not sure what it would be, but I don't have to make that decision today. I can maybe write a science fiction story and maybe put a similar situation on the first human beings that set foot on the moon of Mars, and what it is they say about the heritage that preceded them being able to do that, and how they look back on the paving nature of Apollo to be able to give them the ability to be able to advance human achievements to get to a moon of another planet in great preparation for settling, beginning to expand on that other planet. Now, to me, that's damned exciting. And that's why I feel excited about the opportunities that